The Stop Killing Games initiative needs your help. We'll talk about the purpose of the movement, how you might be able to get involved, and maybe just a little bit about the spicy drama surrounding it.
You want drama? Well, we got it. More layoffs are hitting multiple studios with a potential big one coming to Microsoft sometime this week. We're going to talk about all this stuff and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there every single Monday, bringing you all the biggest news from the video game industry. You can find us on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. As always, joined by this man right here, Full Clip. What is up with you today?
Doing pretty good, E-Rock. How about yourself?
Good. I'm good.
Trying to beat the heat.
Magic. Yeah. Look at with this drink. You don't even know what I'm drinking. All you can see is this comically large straw. This is for the people watching on YouTube.
It's tequila, folks. It's always tequila.
Just iced latte with tequila.
It sounds like a good combo.
Yeah, dude. Beating that heat. Yeah. You've been doing anything fun?
It's been a pretty slow week. I've been trying to not go outside if at all possible, just because, if it's not torrentially downpouring here, it's about 95 degrees. The index the other day said it was like 112. The feels like, and all the humidity to go with it. So I've been trying to stay inside while I can, play some video games. Nothing really new to talk about on that front just yet, because I am finding myself having a hard time pulling myself away between the altars when I want to get into that sort of narrative storytelling, because I have to devote full attention to it. But then sometimes, like after the work day and stuff, I just want to zone out to Roadcraft and still playing a lot of it. Playing Roadcraft and a podcast in the background, great combination.
Nice. I always like that. Yeah, just to chill out, you don't have to use much brain power. Yes, I gotta get back to the altars. I haven't been really playing much of anything. It's been one of those weeks where I'm just like either, exhausted from the heat and I just go to bed real early, because most of my game time is done at the end of the day, So lately it's been like 10 o'clock and I'm like, normally when I'll fire up a game or something, and lately I'm just like, I could just like go to bed. And I've been choosing that a lot more. What else? I've been chilling out, maxing, relaxing.
That's all cool.
Yeah, shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
Oh, I thought you weren't allowed.
There were a couple of guys that were up to no good. They started making trouble in my neighborhood. So yeah, that's been about it. I did play one new game, and it's a game. It's a mobile game. We talk about mobile games here, right? Marvel Mystic Mayhem. You hear about this one?
No, I haven't.
So it is it's a Marvel game, and it's from NetEase. Surprise. And it is a tactical game. It's like a tactics RPG type game, but it's in real time. So it's not turn-based. It's so you're just kind of dragging your abilities and just throwing them out there, and they're on cooldowns. It's interesting. Overall, it's really just a classic gotcha game where you have to either buy new characters or unlock loot boxes and stuff to get you want Doctor Strange, or you want the Hulk or something cool, So but it's been a lot of fun. It's been maybe I do it occasionally at work. Maybe when I am laying in bed at 10 o'clock, I can fire this up. So I guess I'm doing a little gaming, mobile gaming, still cool. So yeah, I recommend, if you're a fan of Marvel games, you're a fan of mobile games, definitely if you have a ton of money that you just want to throw into the ether, check it out because it's perfect for that. But the gameplay hook it's fun. It's not like super grabbing. Like I'm not like fiending to get back in there. But when I do play it, it's good. I'll play a couple levels, see what I get, and then move on. So I don't know how long it's going to hold me, but it's fun for right now. Yeah. Marvel Mystic Mayhem. All right. Well, should we get this show moving?
Yeah, let's do it.
Comically large straw. Delicious. All right, let's get into our new releases from this past week. It's been a slow week. It's been a slow week for games, slow week for news, but that does not mean this is going to be a boring show. No. On the contrary, because we're going to talk about Death Stranding 2 on the beach. This is the sequel to Death Stranding 1 Near the Beach. It came out June 26th. It is takes place 11 months after the first one. It's an open world action adventure third person game where you deliver boxes and there's there's weird people. There's a guy with a guitar that shoots out electric. This is all I know from the trailers. I haven't played the game.
It is a Kojima game.
It's a Kojima. I should have led with that. Yeah, people are saying this is his magnum opus. This is the Kojima game of all Kojima games. So I haven't I didn't look into anything about this one because I still want to play. I started the first one, didn't make it very far, but I'm still I want to play it. I want to play this. So I'm trying to avoid really reading too much about it. Spoilers. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
I played the first one. This is just more, I think.
Yeah, I just barely touched on the first one, maybe got an hour or two in, and man, it's like a slow trudge. And I remember from the trailers of that game seeing later gameplay, you're in vehicles ripping around, you're making roads and highways and bridges and stuff. And I would have liked to have gotten to that point in the game, but don't know that I'm down for the hours and hours of struggling until then. And this kind of looks like more of the same from the trailers, at least.
Yeah. A buddy of mine loved the first one. He's the reason why I really want to try it. He's like, dude, you got to play it. It's it definitely is a slog to get through certain parts of it, but the story is the redemption. It's such a good story. So yeah, and that's I've heard people say that's another one. Well, you're doing the deliveries. They're long. They take a long time. But they put on a podcast and just make it one of those kind of games, Yeah. So I'll get to it eventually. This one's got a 90 on Metacritic right now, so it is, it's doing great. And like I said, just based on the trailer, it looks bonkers. It looks insane, and I want to experience it, So, and it's got a great cast of actually big name celebs, stars that are in it. So, yeah, I'll check it out. But listen, if you're not into that, maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check out Tamagotchi Plaza for the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Have you been playing this?
No, not yet, unfortunately.
Okay. This seemed like something that you or your wife would absolutely be into. It's like a shop simulator, they're calling it, where you have to run these little shops with these little Tamagotchi people.
Yeah.
There's 12 different shops you could do. Okay, yeah, and then a bunch of mini games. There's over 100 characters, Tamagotchi characters in it that you can meet along the way. Yeah, and it looks interesting. I could not find a single review about this game. It came out on the 27th. I could not find one single review. I found a Reddit post from Reddit, the Tamagotchi Reddit, with someone saying, I like it, but I don't know if they're a very credible source.
Yeah, if not for Hello Kitty Island Adventure, my wife would probably be playing this, and I'd probably be right there helping her. But yeah, this is one of those cozy island kind of things where it's deliver the packages, play the mini games. It's very similar to a lot of games that are already out there, but it does have the name Tamagotchi on it, and we grew up with those, so it's interesting enough to jump in and see what it is. Although I do think that the gameplay is probably a little basic, probably for a younger crowd, and kind of repetitive, and same old thing if you've already played it. What I did find interesting about this is that the Switch 2 they have a special edition for the Switch 2 that takes advantage, adds like 3 different shops. That way you're able to use the mouse controls. And they showed a little demonstration of you actually turn the mouse upside down and like you're using your fingers on the optical sensor to flick things or like place things as if it's a cursor. So I thought that was interesting. And I never really thought of like turning a mouse over and doing it like that. And I wonder, I mean, I've never seen a game really implement that before, but the people at Nintendo, they think outside the box.
Yeah. For the flick the bean mini game, there's a bean that you have to flick. Yeah, no, it sounds interesting. The Switch 2 version, $99. No, not really.
Oh,
that's I just made that up. I think they're the same price. I think I don't know if they're, but yeah, that's fun. In fact, we mentioned Hello Kitty, like that just went on sale on Nintendo Summer Sale or whatever, and my son's been playing it on his iPad. It's on Apple Arcade for like included. And he was like, "Can we get this?" I'm like, "No, it's still $35," which blows my mind that Hello Kitty game is a full game. But anyways, maybe Tamagotchi Plaza is where he'll want to end up. All right, that is it for our new games for this week. Definitely a slow week, so hopefully we get some big games coming out real soon. All right, let's move things along. Let's get into our news of the week. All right, this week, our word of the week here at Gaming News Weekly is layoffs. It seems to be the word of the year.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we got a few more to talk about. First up, this Splitgate 2 developer 1047 Games had to release a small group of valued employees. Not certain about the amount of people that got laid off, but they're trying to do some strategizing, trying to get their game going for a while. I did find it interesting to read that co-founders Ian and Nicholas have opted to not take salaries also to try to get the game where they want it. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's rare you see that,
Yeah.
So yeah, I keep reading more about Splitgate, and I'm like, shit, I keep forgetting about it, and I want to like go play it, and I keep forgetting. Like last night, I was like, I want to play a game, and I played Fortnite, and I would have rather I think played Splitgate too, but I just forgot that it existed. So
yeah, I kind of wonder if it was the move to get rid of Splitgate 1 in the meantime before Splitgate 2 came out, rather than pump out a little bit of content for that to keep people kind of on the hook and then go for the big sequel to it. Right. I feel like it kind of hurt them to not be in the game. They do seem like very genuine people who take an interesting approach. What was it the guy said at the Game Awards? Like, we're not your mother's Call of Duty or something like that.
He was like shit talking Call of Duty, and he had to like make FPSs great again or something.
Yeah.
Head on.
Just not sure that the Splitgate 2 release really stuck the landing. And
yeah, man,
this is evidence of that, probably.
Yeah, it's hard. Every single week we're talking about games as service or a live service game underperforming, and I don't know. It's got to be hard to be in that business. Another one, I think the writing was on the wall, but the Mind's Eye developer Build a Rocket Boy, or Barb, some people call them. They are also laying off a bunch of their staff. They did not release a number, but people deduced that it's probably somewhere around 100 or more staff being released from their, I think they have about 300 UK employees and 200 more employees abroad. So it's a fairly big studio. So I with the terrible release of that game, it seemed kind of inevitable. I was just happy that it's not just right off the bat like we're closing the studio, because I could see that happening, right?
Yeah.
But they're working on the game. They're intent on making it what they, dreamed it to be. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. Hopefully they could turn it around, pull a cyberpunk on it.
I don't know if I see that happening for this game, but who knows?
I don't either.
But yeah, we talked about it the other week when we were talking about the release and the controversy. But the backing project behind this Mind's Eye was supposed to be that, was it Everything or Everywhere project?
Yeah.
Sort of like a Roblox, but taken a little more seriously. It seems like that was supposed to be user-generated content eventually. And yeah, we were saying like it'd just be really interesting to see where that project goes. And hopefully this is not just a big black eye that ends up, canceling the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that it would be nice if they could turn it around, but I don't know. And then lastly, this one has not happened yet, but Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg has been talking about a major layoff coming sometime real soon to Microsoft, specifically the Xbox division, and so much to talk about thousands of jobs, they're saying. In sales at Microsoft, as well as like possible like entire studio closures. I heard rumors that the studio that does Forza, that's one of the rumors I heard, that studio may get closed. I don't know. Right now it's all rumors, but it is based on, what do you say, like the end of the like some sort of fiscal year is June 30th, and this has happened previously. From there, they try to do layoffs right around that time. So we are getting very close. As today, as we're recording this, it is June 29th. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, if something big does happen, we'll be talking about it more next week on the show, or maybe on the socials. But I hope that it's not as dire as it sounds, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, and I wonder. I mean, is this in response to anything? Is this in response to things not performing, or is this just business as usual?
It always just kind of goes back to the Activision acquisition. Like, I don't know if the cost of that jammed them up, or they're still dealing with redundancies, or trying to like tighten everything up. I don't know, but that every time it's always like talks about that being kind of a catalyst for all of this.
Yeah.
So
I guess I know the big play on Wall Street is like cancel a bunch of jobs and then you get a bunch of investments, because I guess at the beginning of this fiscal year, you'll look nice and lean going into it. You just cut a lot of costs, which employees cost a lot to a company. That's one of the biggest expenses, apparently. But yeah, I just they try to hype up Game Pass. They're trying to hype us up on the new Xbox ROG Ally, all this stuff in the works. But then this certainly makes it look bad when you have to make a massive cut to your jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man, because it always seems like on the surface, like everything is, great over there, especially when they're like, yeah, we just bought Blizzard, Activision, like we have all this stuff. Now, obviously, it's going to take a while for that to pay off, but yeah, it always just seemed on the surface like, yeah, Game Pass, more subscribers than ever, doing better than ever. We don't know the cost of running that thing, what, behind the scenes, like what these games take to get on the service, all the day one games. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Can you imagine though, like right now being an employee over there with this, like, and the only thing is you read this article from Jason Schreier saying that like thousands of people might be losing their jobs.
God.
Crazy.
No, I wouldn't want to be an employee anywhere in the gaming industry right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for news. We can talk about all this, but we're not affected.
Exactly. And we're making the big bucks, really, But yeah, that is it for layoffs for this week. We'll see. Hopefully that's it for maybe a couple weeks, but I'm sure we'll be talking about more of that stuff. One thing I would want to talk about that is an exciting topic. It's more politics, more business. It's the Stop Killing Games initiative. You're familiar with this, right? You brought it to my attention. Give me the quick rundown of it.
Right. I'm familiar in the way that I watched the whole video that this dude put out, and it is about an hour long, so I'm pretty much an expert. No. So
you watched the whole thing?
Yes.
Wow.
Ross Scott, also known as Accursed Farms, he's a YouTuber, and he's sort of taken on the initiative to start this cause, which is, to put it in my own terms, so don't crucify me if I get this wrong. If people have paid for a game, then the belief is that the developer of that game should not be able to just come in and take your ability to play that game away. So we're talking about games like The Crew that this happened to, and I mean several other examples out there. But you came in, you paid your money, you bought the skins, you did this and that, the DLC packs, and then the game is put into an unplayable state by the developer. And this initiative is to say that that is anti-consumer, that that should not be allowed, and plans should be put into place for these video games so that if you paid money for them, you have a way to access them in the future. I think that's the cut and dry, about as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
But this has gotten into some drama because there's another guy named Pirate Software, or Thor. He is a video game developer and a hacker and former like Blizzard dev. And he's been one of the most vocal critics on this. And if anything, he's probably gotten more eyes onto this by being negative about it than, dissuading people from supporting it. The Streisand effect, I guess, because he's gung-ho about not supporting it. He comes from a developer standpoint, but he's also been a little bit of a dick about the whole thing. He's saying that, this will stifle the creators' innovation, their ability to come out with games, because there are certain dependencies that a lot of these games run on, such as maybe a server with some sort of, let's say, an anti-cheat software or something. That's probably a bad example, but some sort of subroutine in the coding that the publisher of the game is not necessarily allowed to give out. And it's going to be dependent on that subroutine, but that's in somebody else's hands. So you'd have to code like every game from the beginning, develop without depending on any of these subroutines that you can't say are going to be available in the future. Now this, that might be a stumbling point here. I think overall that this is a pretty worthwhile cause, despite a few little hiccups here and there that are going to have to be figured out in court when the time comes. So the big initiative right now in the UK and Europe, they're trying to get, I think it's like 1 million signatures to be able to bring this in front of the government over there to try by July 3rd, I guess, get this petition headed up to get some traction. And they were like, they were shy of it. I think they gained a lot because a lot of big YouTubers are sort of pushing on the drama narrative of this and getting it in front of a lot of more people's eyes. So I think they're still probably shy. I haven't seen the newest updates on it.
But right now they're at 645,854 signatures, 64% of the way. So got a ways to go. And it's only for European citizens too. So, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, so and that's just the current campaign. In the future, the idea would be get this in front of all kinds of governments around the world and find the consumer protections there. It's just, it's sort of about setting precedents here with this first round in the Europe and the UK. So yeah, it's a pretty worthwhile cause, I'm pretty sure, to get behind that if you can. And the unfortunate part, like the name of this video that Ross Scott put out was The End of Stop Killing Games, just because he is the guy who's sort of spearheading it, but he is a very reluctant leader and is kind of done with it, over it. Mm-hmm. So if this doesn't go through, he will probably be taking a step back, and with that, the whole movement might crumble. And if that were to happen, maybe something else will take its place in the future, but you don't really know. It kind of sucks to lose that momentum that's been gained here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it's absolutely tough, and especially when that person, the detractor of it, like really didn't seem like he understood it. Not talking about like indefinitely supporting games, but like at least making them not like if you own a disc, like let's say Overwatch, if you bought a disc for Overwatch. I can't put that in my system and do anything anymore. It doesn't do anything. You paid for that. And same thing with The Crew, like you said. And I think, but just leaving them in a somewhat playable state, not to be like supported or whatever. I don't know. There is a fine line with like, yeah, when do we update the game, whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. You should definitely never have something just completely taken from you that you paid for, or it should be. I know he's talked about like expiration dates or something, like coming down and showing you that this is going to happen. But yeah, I definitely agree. I've been seeing it everywhere on Reddit. If you're on any of the gaming Reddits, they've been posting the petition there. So yeah, if you are able to, definitely sign it, because it's interesting and it's pro consumer. Like we should all be. It's tough to be a game developer now. I get it, but like, it doesn't mean you should just be allowed to take things that we've paid for with our hard-earned money, regardless of what the issue is. So
right,
yeah. Hopefully, it gets some last-minute excitement and can get those signatures and go before the European Parliament or whatever the hell it is, whatever they do over there. They got the wigs. They got those white wigs on, and they're, oh, hear ye, video games should be for everyone. I want to see that. So yeah, check it out. All right, and then there's a couple of new game announcements I wanted to bring some attention to. The first one, a game called Gloomy Eyes, was shown off recently, and this game looks super cool. If you're a fan of like Tim Burton specifically, it looks just like what's that movie? Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, yeah. It looks like those same like characters. Very cool. It's basically like a co-op game, but it's a one-player game. You're controlling two different characters that do two different things. They have different powers, abilities, and you kind of have to move them throughout to solve these platform like puzzle things in like this diorama style level. It looks really cool. I just love the art style for it. I can't believe like it's never been done before, something like with this style. How old is Nightmare Before Christmas? Like that Tim Burton look. It's very much, synonymous with him. So that was cool. Do you get a chance to check this one out?
Yeah, just watch the trailer of it. It looks pretty interesting, and I wouldn't say that it's the first like Tim Burton-esque game. There's just one recently.
Well, we got like Little Nightmares.
Yeah, or
I guess like Little Nightmares is ish.
Not Cuphead, but there's some other like object like that. The game just came out and it looks like a claymation style thing like that, really dark and dingy. And also like Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. So there are games that sort of borrow
Midnight
that aesthetic.
Walk.
Yeah,
is that the one?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but this one, like, I was like, oh shit, this looks just like a trailer for like one of those movies. Very cool. And then the second one, a game called Code Rapid. Don't have much information about this at all, but they did release this announcement trailer showing off. It's like a third-person action mech game where you are control. It's kind of like, I would say, like a cel-shaded like Armored Core. It had the same kind of like strafing and really fast action where you play as this mech. And I like the idea of it, that every mission you go on and when you get upgrades for your mech, and then you just keep building it out, and you can customize and stuff like that. It looks like it has potential. It looks very early on just based on the trailer, because the world seems kind of empty. And the game, it seems kind of basic, but the movement is what drew me in. Like, it's got really fast, tight, like movement. A lot of like, the strafing and the sliding on the ground. And then, so yeah, this one I thought, would draw your eye, being that it's a mech style game. What'd you think of that?
For sure. But I do agree that, the biggest hang up for me is it looks a little simple. It does look like it has that Armored Core style of combat, but there's just not a lot of stuff on the screen. And I don't know if they're targeting this to be able to come out on mobile later or something like that. But in that sense, that makes it feel a little bit cheap in my eyes. And if the price is right, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, if it's a $50 plus game, I'm not down for it.
Oh no, this doesn't look like, just based on the trailer, I'm like, this looks like a $20, $30 indie game where you go through and it's all about like customizing, making a cool mech. And that's going to be the draw for me. If like they show me that, I could customize this cool mech suit thing or whatever to look a certain way or have certain abilities that are very different from, generic basic things like that. It needs to set itself apart. It has the movement, the fast paced action, the fighting. That's cool. But it's got to do something to set itself apart. It looks cool, but yeah, it looks real simple. You're right.
Yeah, and the Steam page for it tells me that I may like it because I like Titanfall 2, and I think that that's where that fast action kind of traversal comes in. And that's going to just be an issue of, like, how does it feel when you play it? If it feels right, the way Titanfall gets it right with all the traversal, then I'm down to play it. If it's weird and cumbersome, then I'll pass.
You ever play Vanquish?
No.
That was like I think it was a third person like shooter. But that one was all about speed too. It was like you have like these, I don't know, robot like leg like attachments, so it makes you like run fast and then slide fast, and there's a lot of strafing. That game, man, was a lot of fun. That was like, I don't know, maybe like PS3 era. But I bought it it was on sale on Steam. One of the last sales, I think, for like $2.99. I haven't played it yet, but it's like I keep meaning to get back to it. But that similar kind of aesthetic too. So, and that is all I got. You got anything else you want to chat about too? We're early. We got time.
Yeah. Short week. Okay, I'll talk to you about my gaming Goodwill find. I found. I
like that.
I found a glass tray that one might use for recreational activities that says Call of Duty Smoke Ops on it, and it has like the Black Ops logo. That's pretty cool.
Man, you bought it?
Yep, $2.99.
What a deal, man! Call of Duties. I love it. That's hilarious. All right, perfect. Perfect way to go out here. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. Be sure to follow us on YouTube. Pop Culture Playground is the channel. Go there, hit subscribe. You got the show. Bam, you get to see how long my straw is. Who doesn't want to see that? And then if you don't care about straw length, go check us out on any podcast provider out there. Just type in GNW. You'll bring up this show, Gaming News Weekly. And hit subscribe. That way, every Monday you'll have it ready to go on your Android or your iPhone, just ready to roll.
If you do care about straw length, let us know in the comments. And then, next week, maybe I'll come in with a crazy straw.
Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it. Oh, yeah. That's for the audio listeners. All right. That's all I got. We're going to go play in the sprinkler in full clip. We're going to hold hands and jump through the sprinkler. And maybe continue to talk about straw length. But, all right. We'll see you guys next week with more Gaming News Weekly.